G'day guys, back again. I'm now working on some Victrix light cav. Just started them really. I've done one undercoat of molten bronze P3 paint, and now I'm just doing a wee dry brush over that of Citadel Garner's Gold or something like that. Woohoo! Get back. There. That's where it's focused, way back there. So, yeah, just dry brushing that over the top. I want to actually get onto the flesh, but I really need to get this part done first. What I might do, just take that out a bit. Oop. Drummer next door is just started up. Some days he's terrible, some days he's not. Well, it's not that he's not terrible, he's just not exceptionally terrible on those days. It's so funny. He's a young chap, so he excuse me, he's trying hard, but quite often he's like half a beat out of time. So hilarious. So we're not going to get many of our overseas guys on watching at the moment, because most of them will probably be asleep by now. But it is 12:43 here, so making the most of my afternoon. Well, I think I'm making the most of it. So obviously if I'd done the flesh first and then you go and dry brush over top, you're more likely to make a hash of the flesh that you've already painted. So it's not because normally I paint flesh first, but not when there's chainmail armor or something else like that to do. Right. So what I might do is, while I'm waiting for that to dry, if I can see where I put down my paint. Yes, I'll do some flesh that's nowhere near that part there. Well, actually, I've got a couple of guys that, excuse me, I should have set myself up a wee bit better. So the first flesh that I use is, at the moment, is shadow flesh. I am considering changing this, but I haven't yet. So I'm going to just stick with it on these guys. So I'm doing these as kind of early-ish light Greek, so I'm not going to have any shields on them. Really like. Always like the faces that the Victrix do. I think they've got great character, and they lend themselves to be painted nicely. Okay, how's it going? I'm wanting to do a really nice job on these guys. Make them a bit of a showcase. Yeah, so that's all I do for the first layer is shadow flesh. Make sure you cover everything. Sorry. I might have to end up putting my camera up a little bit higher so I'm not getting my hand in the road all the time. Nope. So the day has warmed up a little bit here, but not a heck of a lot. The fog, well, it seemed to have cleared a little bit, but now it's set back in again, so we're not really going to see a heck of a lot of warmth out of the day, but as far as painting's concerned, you don't want it too hot. Otherwise it's going to dry your paints out. Number 2. He's got a beard on there, so that's why he's looking a bit scraggly around the chin. So a lot of people don't like painting horses, but I've always really enjoyed painting horses. So I always look forward to this. I think sometimes it's because with horseflesh there's large areas, and large areas can show up inconsistencies in your painting. But it's like everything. It's practice. I just happen to have painted a lot of horses in my time. Actually, I won't paint any more on that guy because I don't want to paint the faces yet. I'll go back to the bronze as soon as I've done these guys' legs and arms. And just in case you're wondering, I have these based on a thick cardboard, which I just find, see how thick it is. I just find it easy to work with. I've tried the milk bottle tops and on sticks and all kinds of things, but I just keep coming back to this. There's no right way. It's whatever you find easiest, I think. The drummer boy's not doing too bad at the moment. Just keeping in time. Which is nice. Puts enough practice in. More than I do on my guitar, which I should probably be practicing instead of painting. Got music practice to go to tonight. So I don't normally glue my riders on before I paint, especially Napoleonics, because there's just so much detail. But I just think of these ones, you know, it's not such a huge amount of detail. Even though this guy's sitting on a leopard skin or tiger skin, so there's probably a bit of detail there to do. But that's only 3 out of 12 horses anyway, so I'm sure we'll figure it out. So it was a real nice catch up with you guys this morning on my my live paint and chat. It's pretty quiet now, but I expected it to be quiet. And I just think, well, you know, I'm going to be painting anyway. I might as well just pop on like this, and if someone pops on, someone pops on. Been thinking about lately what would you call it, dream armies would be, the armies that I really want to build, and what manufacturers I want to collect to build those armies. So I want to do a French Napoleonic army in all front rank miniatures, and I was thinking the same for a Russian army, but I just received foundry figures for a Russian army, and I'm very happy with those minis. I mean, obviously they're smaller than front rank, but well, I've received most of the army anyway, so I might as well just collect it in that. So I'm quite happy about that. I want to do an American Civil War army, and I'd like to do that in Foundry anyway. So I've started working towards that, even though I must admit I've picked up some periplastics to start it off. So we'll just see where that one goes. I'm not too worried about that. If you've just popped on, I'm doing Victrix Greek Light Cav, and while I'm waiting for the helmets to dry, I'm just putting the flesh on the arms and legs at the moment. I'm not doing the faces. I'm just doing first coats, obviously, because I've dry brushed, as you can see maybe on, if I turn that guy around, you can see his face has some brass on it, and so I put P3 molten bronze on, not brass, bronze, on the helmet, and then I've dry brushed it with gold from Citadel, and then I'm going to do a wash in a few minutes, and then I'll go back and I will dry brush that again, and I'll probably do another wash. So normally I just do an Agrax wash and then leave it at that, but I'm going to do a null oil wash first. Then I'm going to dry brush it again, because I really want these figures to come out really, really nice. I mean, these ones are from me anyway. They're part of my army that I'm building, my Greek army, which is slowly taking place. And then, yeah, once I've dry brushed it again, then I will do an Agrax, sort of do Agrax wash over top of that. And then the final thing, I'll probably give it a very light dry brush with pure gold over that, just to bring out some of the detail on the helmets. But yeah, you have to be very careful. Don't want it to be too much, because it's not gold; it is bronze. So I don't want it to look like gold. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing the null oil wash over it as well. It's just to darken it up that little bit more than I normally would. My whole Greek army is Victrix miniatures. It comprises about 350 foot at the moment. I think I've got 12, maybe 20 slingers. I've got about, I think it's 56 unarmored hoplites. I've got light troops, about another 56, and then the rest are heavy infantry. G'day, David. Hey. So at the moment, I'm just doing the skin that's not on the faces, because I'm going to do another wash and dry brush, and I don't want to wreck the skin that I might have painted on the face by dry brushing it over again with some gold. I've already done the brass and one dry brush of gold over the brass. And so it's about to get a nail oil wash over the what I've done already. This is the last bit of skin for these guys. Hopefully the guy next door won't drum for too long today. I don't know if you guys can hear him or not. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That I think the Gorgon miniatures. I saw that they, if I'm right, they look like a really nice set of miniatures. Now I said I'll do null oil, but where the heck have I put it? There it is. So it's they're 28 mil, aren't they? giving it a pretty decent coat here. Go on with a little bit there of some of these creases. But all in all, I'm going to give it I want it to really darken up. So we've gone from that to that already. Get back in the picture. And then we'll do a dry brush, and then we'll put a next wash over it. Yeah, if it's the ones I thought of, I saw them in a, I think it was a War Games Illustrated magazine years ago, and they looked terrific. They look really nice. I was very tempted at the time, but had no money. Not too much down there. What are you painting at the moment, Dave? Got much on your table? $1812 American. Plastics or metals? I must admit, the plastics these days, not too bad. They've got a lot of people back into doing some decent size armies, that's for sure. Perry Miniatures, yep. Painted American War of Independence miniatures for a guy for about, I don't know, 2 years. And even though I wouldn't mind having it from you myself, I just don't know if I could. Yeah, I do game, but it seems to be less and less and less these days. I just love to paint. I've been down the club twice this year, and I was down there actually on Wednesday, and game Sales of Glory, and yeah, we had a lot of fun. But I just find it so easy to sit down with a paintbrush, and before I know it, I've gone, oops. I didn't go. Oh, nice, cool. It's crazy to think that my videos can actually encourage people to have a crack at something, eh? Never really thought I was that good at doing this kind of stuff, just average. So it's nice to think that it's encouraged the odd person here and there. Now, we've just got to wait for that to dry. So while that's doing that, we'll just bring that out. And that one out. And we'll chuck a little bit of yellow paint in. Oh, okay, Romanian. I've never done Romanians. Actually, yes, I have, in Flames of War. But not for me, but yeah. Every now and again, the words just disappear off the screen here. So I'm hoping in a second they'll come back. There we go. You're hooked. Yeah, I must admit, I am totally hooked on the Polymax. Even now and again, wander away and do other stuff, which is quite normal. But I always come back to it, See if I can get it a little bit lighter on. Next pass. Warhammer. Yeah, my son's into Warhammer real big time. So I painted a bit for him, but that's about it. Oh, that's one. Starting off with straight, what's it called? Everland Sunset. Then I've put a little bit of white into it. And then I put a bit more white into it, but I'm just kind of painting wet on wet here. Just gotta be careful you don't blend it in too much. Like that. Ah, Lord of the Rings, yeah. Yes, we went up and we had a German student stay with us. And so we went up and took her up there. She was really into Lord of the Rings in a huge way. And so they took a ride through where a lot of it was filmed, like the actual areas. Great. That was up near Twizel. So when I paint these shields like this, I don't really I don't want to fill it in totally. I want to so kind of stripe it across to make it look like it's wood grain. And the thing is, I don't really like what I've done on this one, so I'm going to actually put a bit more into it. There. I don't know, this one looks a little bit botched. I might have to redo this. This one. Right, so that's that one, that one, that one, and that one. I'll put a little bit more. To there. I just generally go on the internet and put in Vikings, have a look what everyone else has done. I haven't really got much around here. I haven't done a lot of Vikings. So at the moment I'm doing some really plain shields. I'm not doing a lot of design work on it, which I might on where is he? Oh, this guy here. I might do a little bit more design on his shield, but generally I'm just keeping it really simple on these guys. If I can find the right paint, that is. I'll just chuck someone into view while I'm shaking up the paint. A lot of my knowledge is not really around the ancient times. So you've got to really, in general, I've got to do a lot of research when I come to those things. But I haven't necessarily done a lot of research on these guys. I've just had a look on the net and thought, yep, those Vikings look cool. I really don't want to do excessively detailed work on these shields. I think on some of the other ancients that I've done some quite fancy designs. Right, so we've got one there. He's done. He's done, and he's done. Right, still not quite dry over there on the other stuff, so we're then going to go to the blue shields. So this is the second layer, and I will be doing a third highlight on all these colors. Sometimes I go and look up the actual shield designs from Little Big Man, and will then paint those in. So that takes a lot of time, but they can look really cool. Just hit one of the silver rivets with blue paint. Awesome. Yeah, so we'll do a slightly lighter blue in there later. See if we can leave a little bit of the dark blue, make it like a line. So I've done these guys quite vivid, quite bright. So when they're put down on the table, you won't miss them. I know not everyone likes that, but even though they're not mine, I do. Right. Okay. No, we're just going to wait just a little bit longer, so we will. What I might do is just thinking of the color to add in there. Got to add over there. Right, where's my black? Right, black reed. Yeah, first day on the job. No hacks and cracks. They'll probably hop on the table and won't know what to do. Like most of the figures that I put on the table, they always die the first time I put them up because new paint job. Right, that's that one. He's got white. He's got white. Just thinking what to put with that. Let's squeeze out a bit of grey, light grey. We'll do that one. Some light grey. I keep thinking that these guys will be off the table soon, but there's always something more to do on them. They're getting close, though. They are getting close. Look. .42 foot and 2 cavalry figures in the slot. After that, from this guy, I've got Picts and Britons and Goths still to do. Somehow got to make them look different than the lot before. And we're going to do... No, I'm not going to grab neutral grey. My favourite period to paint? Gosh, it's I do love Napoleonics. I mean, I really do. But I also really, really enjoy painting German uniforms as well. I know some people are like, oh, I can't game that because they were bad. But hey, it's history. It's history. It happened. We don't want it to happen again, even though it seems to happen again and again. But the good old German uniform was quite cool. You know, all the camo and even the basic uniform is great to paint. Other than that, far out. I've if you look back in my early videos, you'll see an Egyptian army I painted. I really enjoyed painting that. It was actually quite a challenge, but yeah, it was enjoyable to paint. Right, and we're going to use grey on here as well. Seem to be over. If I turn the camera that way a little, that's better. Right, I reckon we should be able to go back to the Greeks now. Worst period. What have I painted that's been my worst period to paint? That's a hard one. Coming up with some interesting questions. I have to have a think about that. Gosh, worst period. I don't know. I'm not sure. You've caught me on that one. No, that's not the worst though. I once painted a Zulu army, 15mm Zulu army, and there was tons of them, and I mean tons and tons of them, and all that hide shields. There were so many hide shields to paint. They drove me nuts. But still not the worst period. But what else? I find World War I a wee bit boring to paint. Now it's all very much the same old, same old. So we're just putting another dry brush over this. Yeah, I think the things where there's not a lot of variation at all can get a bit hard when you're painting lots and lots of figures. I've been pretty lucky with when I paint for other people. I haven't really had a lot of that. So when you're doing things like this, if you drag it, see how there's wee ridges on the helmet. So if you drag it down when you do this, so then the highlight catches the top of the ridge, and if you go like that, you fill in underneath, and if you go up, you fill in underneath. You want that to stay dark under there, so you drag your brush down to make sure that the highlights are coming from the top of the helmet where the sun will actually be. But I do love Napoleonics. G'day M3, how's it going? Long time no see. Celts. Yeah, your armies are so big, eh? I mean, this Greek army is probably going to drive me completely insane. Dry brushing, yes. You know what dry brushing is, don't you? Dry brushing is when you put your paint on your brush, then you get rid of as much paint as you can off the brush. So you don't use a decent flat end brush. These are really cheap ones off Wish for $3. I got about 20 brushes for about, I don't know, $3 or $4. And then you just go like that with what's left on the brush, which is very little, and it's called dry brushing because the brush is virtually dry. No apologies needed, mate. Life is very important. And sometimes our real life has got to just take over. So yeah, so each time I'm just putting well, not each time, but putting a little bit more on, and then taking it off, and then giving it a bit of a dry brush. I find with gold, you've got to put more on your brush more often than you would other paints. Sometimes you can put paint on your brush and take most of it off and then use it for quite a few figures, where I find with the gold, that's not so. Okay, so they've now had their dry brush done. Get rid of that. I'm just thinking that what I'm going to do now is I've got Bellagio Gold. Now, I'm actually going to do a very, 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 very light dry brush of the gold now, instead of after the next wash. I think it might just blend it in a bit more. So you got to make sure that your brush is dry. Don't have any water. So I've actually got myself a new brush, and then we're getting rid of most of the gold. And what we're going to do here is we're going to try and just catch certain edges. A little bit on the front. So you're putting on nowhere near as much as the one that we've just done. Okay, back, catch the top, and there's a few rim edges. Some edges here. Once again, dragging it down there. You might be able to, if I bring it back there, you might be able to see the edge of the rim there, how it's highlighted that up really nice. That's what I'm after. And that's why you can't paint the skin first when you're doing this technique, because otherwise it'll get covered. So you can, lots of people use dry brushing for doing hair. You've got to be careful, obviously, that you don't touch anything that you can get it on there, but you can do it on hair. You can do it on lots of things, really. I don't do as much dry brushing now as I used to. I actually like to paint the hair in, get as many strands painted as I can. But I find for armor and things like that, metals, dry brushing can be quite cool. Now you could leave this at that stage and not do any more, but I want this now to have a slightly brownier finish to it. So I'm actually going to add another wash. But before I do, I should have used it on here. There's another brush. Good thing about buying tons of wee brushes real cheap is I've got tons of brushes, even though I just use it. Just going to do a wee highlight on this guy. So this thing's a bit different. So I'm not done as many layers, so we'll just do that. And what are we doing, Kent? It's a good question. What am I doing? Just got to be careful. That'll be fine. If you put the next wash on too soon, it will literally wash off. So what I might do is just leave that for a couple of seconds, and I'm going to put some third layers on the shields. So final highlights on the shields. Now I'm going to change brushes, go down a few sizes. Where are we then? Question is that going to be light enough? I don't want it too much. Yep, that's all right. I'm tempted to actually lighten it a little bit more. Looks like I need to change my my paper here, which I got my sheet on. Don't use a good brush to mix paint, that's not a good plan. Right, so we're gonna go crazy and try an extra light layer. I don't want it to be seen more. Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to go with that. Not so sure I did a good job on that one. Chuck that one to the side. I think it's probably good for these straight lines, but I might have to do a wee repaint, I think. But we're getting there. How red do I want that shield? Or do we go for something completely different? It's not red at all. Well, that's not good. I don't think we'll do that. I've got to be careful because I was going to do a colour, but then I've looked and seen that he's got red here. If I did that colour, it would clash with his hair. And we don't want to clash with his hair. So we're just going to put that on there. Okay. So other than mucking up one shield, which I think I will completely repaint, but being that I feel crazy, we're just going to repaint it lighter and we'll start again. Why repaint it darker? Waste of that, eh? Done. Blump blump. Okay, so just that short amount of time, we should be right to go back now and do the final job on these guys. And then I can start on... Right, I just want to make sure that this brush is all right. I'm just wondering if there is something that I haven't painted. I've done a lot of periods, really. I've done English Civil War to death. I've done American Civil War to death. And obviously there are tons of periods that I haven't done, but I'm not really interested in the periods after the Napoleonic Wars and before World War One. They just don't really capture my imagination too much. I've done the Crusades. I haven't done a lot of like biblical time armies. I wouldn't mind doing, I mean, I'm doing the Greeks obviously, but I wouldn't mind doing like the Hittites and things like that. So I don't know, I'm doing this really fast. I painted a mountain. I've looked at, I'm doing Babylonians and stuff, but I keep shying away from them. Look at their big shields they've got, and I think, I don't want to paint those. I've painted a shed load of frigates, I tell you. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of them. And yet there's not many in my cupboard. I painted a heck of a lot in 15mm before I ever started painting these. There was a guy up north, and he'd do these massive 15mm armies. Really cool. Right, so that just browns up the helmet just a little bit more. Once again, we need to wait for that to dry. Back to where is it? Back to these guys. Let's do some white. What about yourself? What would you if you could do anything, what would you do? Oh, will it come off? Right. Whoop. Bit of paint on the old fingers. American War of Independence. Yep, I've done those. I've done those like crazy. And there are actually quite a few different uniforms. Once again, if you look back on some of my old videos, you'll find I started off with American War of Independence 40mm front rank, and there's also a good smattering of 28mm. We're getting there. We are getting there. No, I need to change brushes. That brush is not doing it for me. Oh, Japanese. I tell you, I've bought Japanese samurai and figures by the bucket load, and then they've sat there for years, and then off they go, and I sell them. Just never do them. I don't know why. Just never brought myself to do them. I look at them again, I think, oh, they're cool, and then I bought them again. Oh, of course you've watched them. It's only me that thinks, oh, no one watches these videos. I know you guys do. Right, we've got two greyish shields we've got to do. Oh, something's just happened on my computer. It wants to restart. I'm just going to say remind me later. Goodbye. It wants to do an update. Hopefully that's not too shiny and not too hard for people to see. A few lights on here so I can see. Right. So I've got to touch up a wee bit of metal around the shield boss that I've touched, but yeah, quite pleased with that. I'd actually like to do my own Dark Age armies. I've done these for so many people, but yet I don't actually own my own. Never had my own stuff, so I think that would be kind of cool. What am I going to put with that? We've got 1, 2, 3 yellow, blue ones. We've got 2 green ones there, so maybe we could put green with that. And we could start with a lighter colour rather than a darker colour. Actually, we've got some out. Let's just use that. Let's put some water with it. And I must admit, there are some beautiful miniatures out there at the moment. Ones like, I always like the Foundry ones. Front rank for the Napoleonics. Footsore miniatures. They make some beautiful miniatures. Okay, so we're starting to make a good dent there. Just looking at that horse now. Hopefully it's not too late to remove. Okay. I should have looked. Gotta be really careful when you've left this on for a while and then you go and try and remove it and make a real muck up. So we won't do too much. Okay, what I might do is I'm going to put a little bit of red on the scarlet, and then we're going to really recommend Gorgon. Yeah. So what ranges do the Gorgons do? Gorgon miniatures do? I know they was it the Thracians? I know they do those. For a while there, I was going to do miniatures around Troy, Jericho, and stuff. I never really got to it. So. Well, my shields are starting to come along. I'm quite happy. Okay, so back to these guys. So we're back to doing Shadow Flesh. So I'm just going to get another wee paint tray out. And spine. Okay. Right, here we go. Be careful not to actually paint metal now. It's even harder trying to do it on camera because you're trying to get you guys to see, but at the same time it's a strange angle for me to see. Trying to see where the singlet actually finishes. I do believe down about there. Okay, so first of 3. It's Shadow Flesh. 11 to go. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to paint eyes on these. Me and eyes, I have good days and I have bad days. Look at my eyes. Some days they just all seem to work. And other days they just like, I'm sure I was able to paint these last time I did it. The majority of my stuff I do not paint eyes in. But I have just got myself a new set of glasses. And I'm able to see a little bit better. Number 2. Where's that ear? About there. As I said, if you painted this flesh before you did the metal, you're just making life too hard for yourself. You'd have to repaint it anyway. Yeah, I'm already pleased with the way the bronze has come out. It's got a nice shine to it. Can't say I'm 100% happy with my last wash though. I left it a bit strong in some areas, so I might have to redo some steps and fix that. We shall see. Once again, tartans aren't bad. I just do them neutral. Yeah, I've never painted tartans. Well, I painted them on 15mm, which doesn't really count because it's not quite the same. But I've just got a new book called Painting War, and it explains how to do the tartans, like professionally, which is what I'm going to be looking at when I finally get around to painting some territons. And I must admit, there's a chance I might be painting them sooner than later, if one of the conversations this morning kind of happens. There goes another one, just like the other one. And g'day, David Clark. How you going there? Uh-oh. I am having problems with this thing disappearing. Not paid for, advertised by them, I will say. Oh, yeah. It could be fun, that's for sure. But, I mean, I've been painting my Greeks up. So they're all individual, not that they're tartan, but all individual colours. And with so many to go, I think that's going to drive me balmy. Just missed a bit on there. Ah, 4 years. There's a speed monkey for you. 4 years, eh? Your whole style of painting would have changed within 4 years, wouldn't it? Mine has. Right. Got 2 to go after this one. What's the time? It is 1:52 here. It's in the afternoon. Forged in battle German minis. Never heard of them. Are they nice wee sculpts? Okay. No, I've never heard about them before. But then again, I'm not really into 15s that much. I do have a couple of 15mm armies sitting here, waiting to see if I ever get near them. Got a couple of 10mm armies here as well, actually. They'll probably never see the light of day. Righty ho. That is just about finished, I think. Let's have a wee look at his arm. Yep. So that's bronze done and the first layer of skin. I'm just going to remove all these guys with the shields that I've been working on, because I don't want to knock anything off while I'm doing that. Okay, so now we're going to start work on the next layer of flesh, which is Flesh Base by Villaggio. It's a Panzer Aces colour, and I think that deserves a couple of, what are they? Starburst babies. Or a bit of a sugar rush. I might have to look them up just to see what they're like, eh? Since I've never heard of them. Oops, just stuck my finger in the blue. I was thinking, is that an old tray? But it wasn't. Just spinning it around, seeing if I can find one on this one. Otherwise, I have to find myself another one. That one's... I actually need to clean out some of my painting trays. Excuse me. I reach all the way over there. And look at that. A brand new one. Here we go. I need to clean that little bottle up badly. Right. I just threw my brush. Just threw my brush. Pat enough. See you later, mate. Enjoy your painting. Now, let's have a look at these knees first. Knees look like they're in two parts. A bit there and a bit there. Okay. Not sure I want to paint those in two parts. Yeah, it's always great when you don't have to worry about mold lines. A bird just ran over the wee roof above me. I was like, what the heck? I have a strange feeling those Polish Lancers probably wouldn't fare any better than they did on the day. I have to change my brush. I'm not 100% happy with how this is coming out. Yeah, pretty good price. Right. Excuse me, I'm just going to bring my light down. Hopefully it's not going to be too bright for you guys. Ah, yes. Lancers. I just got some Cossacks just the other day. So I'll be looking forward to those. Russian Cossacks. Okay, so we've starting to take shape. Just see if we can sharpen that up a little. Might as well do his fingers while we're at it, I suppose. So it's still got one more highlight to go on the flesh. That's pretty much what the first highlight will look like. I'm actually going to go for a finer brush just to get inside that helmet. If I can see it. here I was thinking, I'll just glue the guy on the horse because it's not going to be that hard to sort him out, but I think if I hadn't, it might have been a bit easier. Okay, so I'm a bit happier with, let's see if we can get and change the focus. I'm a bit happy with getting inside that helmet on this one than I was on the other guy. So I'll use my wee brush. If I put him across the blade, you can see he's actually a 4/0, but I've got another 4/0, and you can see the difference between them. So this one here is what I normally use, but the other one's quite good. So what I might do is I might actually go through, even though I just noticed I've missed a face. Where's that other stuff? Silly boy. I missed doing a face in the first coat. So quickly paint him in. Instead of saying quickly, I should say carefully, shouldn't I? It's a bit slack happy on the underside of that arm wall as well. Okay. Back to what I was about to do. And that's what I'm going to paint the guys' faces in. Anyone inside a... Actually, there's not that many that I've chosen. Okay, of course, now you're way out of focus. Sorry, guys. Hey, it just takes time. And this method is quite simple. So paint the nose first. Just paint the whole nose. Turn it a little bit sideways. Put a dab on the upper lip. Put a dab on the chin. Like that. Okay, if I move them up and then we focus them back in again. Okay, so nose, upper lip. See how there's a line of the undercoat still between the nose and the lip? Doing a dot on the chin. I'll just focus back out so I can that way. Okay, so next, I'm just going to wash my brush out, get it clean. Is we're pulling it down, starting from up near the nose, and we're just going to pull it down, but we're going to leave a gap between, hopefully. It's really hard with this helmet on, between the dots that you made before. And I must admit, that didn't come out quite as good as I was hoping. And that's all right. I can fix that later. You might be able to still see the chin. See how there's a line either side of the chin? Well, that line should be up near the nose as well. But me and little fumble fingers didn't quite get that right. Sorry about it focusing in and out, guys. I'm just trying to show it closer. And when you do the next highlight, you just do the same thing, but you make it smaller. Yes, I used to be really bad at painting faces. Sometimes I still am. In the majority, I think I've got it to where I'm happy. But I spent quite a while just working on them. Keep looking at internet stuff and figuring out how do I want these to look. I'm going to just keep going at this until I'm happy. Because there's a lot of us out there have had trouble with faces, but they actually don't have to be that crazy. I think the big thing with faces is not to settle and go, well, okay, I'm not very good, so that's as good as it's going to get. Just keep cracking at it. So this is flesh base that I'm using. Yeah, these are Victrix. Yeah, these are their new light cav. So I'm hoping that I can do these good enough that they're going to like this video. Well, not this one, the reviews that I'm doing on the figures. One thing I do love about the Victrix figures is the animation of their faces. For me, a well painted face can do so much for a figure. I mean, realistically, if a face is painted really well, that's it. People might not look at too much more. Yep, I'd say that the Macedonian cav will probably be just as nice. So I'm going to do, I don't know if they'll be live, but I'm going to do how I paint the horses and everything on these as well. So you'll be able to take that if you want and then apply it to your own cav. That one came out better. I got a friend that's got the Victrix Macedonian cav, but he's got Warlord Games Macedonian Army, and he says the two don't really mix size-wise too good. So he's not quite sure what to do because he really loves the cav. He said that it's so nicely made. So I would suggest if you buy this set, that you don't do what I've done. You don't glue the riders on. If you're wanting to paint in detail, I thought I'd get away with it, which I probably will, but it has made it harder to get into some of these areas to paint. I mean, I definitely Don't normally do this. Hard to see in it. Yeah. He was mentioning something about metals from them. So yeah, maybe it's something to do with the metals. Gotta keep an eye on the time. I actually haven't done any of my stuff around the house yet, but I've got plenty of time. I'll actually change paintbrushes again soon. But we've got 3 more faces. Nope, that one's been done. 2 more faces to paint. No, the saddles here are fabric, and I have 2, what looks like a leopard skin to do as well. 3 leopard skin. But most of them are just what looks like just a plain fabric. I might have to do a little bit of research tonight on these guys actually. I'm sure I can paint skin without doing the research. The skin might have been a bit more tanned than I'm doing it. One to go. Do you know where I could find sword infantry for Macedonian army? No. The only Macedonians I've ever built were 15mm Zeiston. Not built, painted. So I have no idea. Have you? I suppose they'll be smaller though. But I was going to say, have you tried Foundry? Foundry might make them. They seem to make most things. Right. Yep. I'm trying to think who else. Okay, so we've done all the faces. No, we haven't. There's one there. That was the guy that I hadn't done earlier. Careful, because his face looks like it's still a little wet from the first line. I think with my style of painting, my faces look pretty bad until I put the next coat on. I think that's the thing, is I think it's very easy to give up on painting faces at this stage when you think, well, I've put 2 layers on it, it should look good. Or I've put 2 layers and a wash on. Why isn't this working? Where I know with this, they don't look good until you can put the next layer on, next highlight. Right, let's ditch that brush. Go back to that one. I'm just going to make the kneecap 1, I think. Maybe in the next highlight, I'll add 2 parts to the kneecap. Just trying to think of who else. What about Aventine miniatures? Even though I think they just make pipe blocks as well. Aventine miniatures make very nice figures. I'll just paint it out a piece of his elbow. Be a bit more careful. Aventine. A-V. Aventine miniatures. I have an Aventine Carthaginian army, and it is just gorgeous. Very, very nice figures. And I've got Italian hill tribesmen and all that kind of stuff that go with it. And yeah, they're nice to paint. And I know they do Macedonian, but I have a strange feeling that you might strike the same problem. Not sure though, because I wasn't actually looking for that. So yeah, my Greek war elephants, Hellenistic war elephants, come from them. So they are really nice. What about, I don't actually know what gripping beast to make these days. I used to make a whole heap of different stuff, but with their saga stuff, they've cut back a lot of army options that they had. I don't know. Do they still make that kind of stuff? Sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, the Cav figures are very nice. I couldn't afford the Cav at the stage where I bought the rest of the army, so I got mine from Gripping Beast. And they don't actually make the figures that I bought off them to finish off my army. They seem to have discontinued it. Who else? It's about my very small library of figure manufacturers exhausted. Right. Kneecap. And the thigh. Try and paint, most of the time I try and paint the same bits, as I'm going around. The kneecap. Around. Down there. Yeah, I'm thinking of changing my first layer here in the future. I'm quite used to having it there, but it's the Shadow Flesh. It's quite a stark contrast, so I'm thinking of finding something that doesn't stand out quite so much. So I'm wondering something like a bilge brown or something might do the trick. So I'm going to have to do some experimenting, I think. It's not that I really dislike this color combo, because I do like it. I'm just wondering whether I can do better. Well, we've been 1 hour and 45 minutes into it, and it's just about time for me to sign off for the afternoon. Get a few jobs done around the house. Hopefully next time you see these figures, they'll be a bit further down the track. Hey Andrew, how's it going? Just been painting these Greek light curve. I'm just saying that I'm probably not too far away from stopping for the day. Get a few chores done before the wife comes home. Yep, I'll probably do. I think I'll probably pick about 4 different coloured horses, and we'll work through how to get those done. It's a bit messy here. Just need to be a little bit more careful. When you do your necks, it's quite important to leave some downlines of the base colour, because if you notice that the person's neck, it's not all solidly one colour. That's all right, mate. It's quite nice that you guys can actually watch at work. So I'm just I'll probably just do this one last guy. And then I'll head off for the day. That line's a bit thick. They look crazy at this stage, don't they? They look pretty stark, those kneecaps. So if you look at my my live chats or my videos on the Greeks, and you decide, hey, these are really cool, I'd like to go and buy some. When you go and buy some, in your comments, like if you do it on the Vitrix side, you can make like a wee comment. It'd be really cool if you could put in there that you saw the figures on Kent's Paint Shack on YouTube, because I'm trying to get their attention. So I'm halfway to getting their attention at the moment, but it'd be really kind of cool if you did that. Then they could go, oh, okay, they've seen the figures on Kent's Paint, and then they've come and bought them. So yeah, it will just kind of maybe highlight me to them a little bit. That'd be kind of cool. But I hope everyone has enjoyed watching today. Have enjoyed chatting with you guys. Oh yeah, and there are so many options. There's so many options to like the arms that you put on. One arm is on most of them. One arm is still is there. Some of them you put 2 on, but most of them it's just 1. And like, there's probably about 30 more different spears sitting in the sprues after I've used these ones. And yeah, the poses are really cool, really animated. They really look like they're riding their horses and going for it. So yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. Enjoyed the chat to the 2 Davids, and cheers, Andrew. And if you watch this a little bit later, I hope you enjoy it, and we'll catch you in the next video. I've got probably in the next 2 days, I've got another video coming out, the Postman's Bean, and the first of the Victrix, the first part of the Victrix review. So take care, and we'll catch you later. If I can end this dream.